His water's been sitting out for like a month now.
Yeah, at this rate.
Change.
Yeah, I mean, have we gone to a laundromat?
I don't know, but our facial hair hasn't grown.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Anyway, this is now my questions to Joe, because he asked me questions last time. Now it's my turn to ask you questions.
Yes.
And I will start off with, how did you get into sports?
We have a running joke in my house. If my dad can't remember something from when my sister and I were kids, it was he was down at the field. He was always coaching hockey, baseball, and as my sister and I were getting a little bit older, he was doing soccer. So he's always been at the field. He's always been into sports. So I just naturally sort of picked up from him. And I was also a fairly decent athlete as a kid, so I just kept sort of going with it.
Yeah. And I know you've told me a lot of your favorite players, like Hideki Matsui, Johnny Damon a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But who's your favorite baseball player that never played for the Yankees at all? Not even a single game.
Yeah, for a while that was Ichiro, but
and then
that stopped.
The problem is most good players have spent time on the Yankees at one point.
Towards the end of his year, as I was learning who he was, I liked Vladimir Guerrero.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. always had a nice, smooth bat. But I don't know. I think it's a tough. I think right now it's Anthony Rizzo.
Good
Rizzo.
choice.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a good, solid player.
Yeah.
Says all the
he
right
represented Team Italy a couple of years back.
Yeah.
So, him.
Yeah. All right. And I also know what teams you hate. So if you absolutely had to see either a Patriots, a Royals, or a Penguins game, which would you see and why?
Patriots, Penguins, or Royals?
It's regardless of who the other team is. It has to be one of those three teams' home games.
I don't want to see the Patriots win, so not the Patriots.
The Royals, you have a burning passion against.
Well, they always beat the Yankees when I'm on. I don't know. That's when I was really starting to get into baseball. The Royals just kicked the crap out of the Yankees. I guess I'd go with the Penguins.
Really?
Because maybe there'd be a good chance someone decks the hell out of Sidney Crosby and like.
Well, I mean, it's hockey. There's
anymore.
a good chance of a fight, period.
Yeah, no, but I'm just hoping like some like guy who's probably gonna like not even be on the team anymore just comes and just whacks the hell out of Crosby and like, he can't play hockey anymore. Oops.
Oh well, yeah. The last couple of years, we've seen football start to rapidly lose viewership and patronage. Now, like they're still seeing ungodly amounts of people, but. You've had the domestic violence controversy, you had Deflategate, you had the national anthem protests, you may still have any combination of those.
Yeah.
What's the one thing football can do to kind of reverse the trend and get people to watch their games again?
Well, they started to do it this past year with the touchdown celebrations because they were making it basically the NFL the no fun league.
Yeah.
NFL. And they brought that back. The touchdown celebration made it a lot more fun. People were watching it more. It was definitely more on the clips and whatnot that people were watching. One of the things that they really struggle with is the Pro Bowl game because they're sandwiching that either in between the final round of the playoffs and the Super Bowl or right after the Super Bowl. And by that point, no one actually cares.
Exactly.
Football's the only major sport in the four major sports that has their all-star game at the end of the season as opposed to in the middle, but that's sort of kind of hard because it's only a 16-game season in 17 weeks, but they need to make it more exciting.
I could see it
make it like an NFL Combine sort of event and see who can do the best.
Yeah, I could also see it maybe happening between the end of the regular season and the playoffs. That might be a better compromise.
Well, but at that point, though, the teams that are in the playoffs have the better players, and you're going to want to see them.
Yeah, but by that, I mean, it's better than it being there's only one game left, that you at least still have half the teams.
Yeah, but you're not going to be seeing your favorite players
True.
in that sort of
Yeah,
serious. So,
it's something they need to.
yeah, football just needs to
Yeah,
get better.
yeah. All right, you're the manager. Bases loaded. Bottom of the ninth. 3-2 count. What do you have the hitter or runners do?
Well,
Well, actually, if the bases are low, the runners will
Yeah.
be running anyway. So what do you
Yeah.
have the hitter do? Does he take? Does he swing? Does he bunt?
only if there's a shift on him. You gotta swing. You have to swing if it's close. Choke up on the bat. Stay deep in the box. And anything that's close, you gotta swing. Make contact. Don't try and check swing it. But if you have to, foul it off. Burn the pitcher, and maybe he'll slip up, leave a hanging slider or curveball, or maybe he gives you a nice fastball that misses the mark. But you gotta swing.
Yeah. Home run, dinger, or round tripper. What do you call it?
I say a homer. Dope.
Yeah.
Or if it's like really far, a bomb.
Fun fact: at work, we cannot label a video as a weapon of war. So, a bomb, a shot.
So you can't say Bronx Bombers.
Well, that we can't say that in anyway. But that's one of the things, in case you want to know, inner workings.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird things that like sort of kept going. Bronx Bombers.
Yeah.
It's like in soccer as a kid, one of our teams was the Blue Gunners. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But like that was like our secret team name. Like on the official paper, it was
Yeah.
the Blue Guys, but we called ourselves the Blue Gunners for whatever reason.
All right. What do you think is the best team in all of sports right now, and why? What's the best built team of all the four major sports?
Like of all time, or just like currently,
Right now, in this moment.
I mean, there is argument to say the Pittsburgh Steelers, just because over the past like 40 years they've had 3 head coaches. They're consistently in the playoff hunt for the most part. Key injuries are really would have been stopping them from winning like 30 Super Bowls by now. Yankees have always been up there since
Haven't had a
mid-90s.
losing season since '93.
Yeah, so it's always the Yankees for that. But you could easily just say LeBron James.
Yeah.
He
Just the team of LeBron James.
He's like Owen when we play Logo Party. He just carries the team on his back.
That they at least get to the playoffs, regardless of anything.
Yeah. I mean, 7 straight NBA championship appearances. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Now, I know we talked about it a bit in your video, but is esports a sport?
So,
Is esports a sport?
no.
Why not?
Sit and play in a video game. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of strategy. I know you're a big Pokemon fan. I am too. I know Diamond and Pearl Cynthia was really hard to beat if you weren't fully prepared. And I've watched a video of a guy who beat her in the black and white version when you go face her with level 1s a week after the game came out. Like pure strategy right there. You need strategy in sports, but
I mean, like the competitive scene, like player versus player.
Yeah, I still don't see it. Like, would you consider chess a sport?
Not really.
It's sort of like the same thing for that. It's just a matter of picking that up. And yes, you want to say, oh, well, I'm playing Madden.
You're playing against a computer.
Yeah, it's a computer. I mean, yes, you can play against someone else, but
that's not.
That's sort of it.
Yeah. Now, is curling a sport? Joe, come back. Joe.
Curling. I think that's just what everyone says it is, just to keep Canada happy.
Yeah. I remember in sophomore year in high school, we were on a big swimming competition trip, and on our way back, we stopped at Applebee's, and it was the Vancouver Olympics, and curling was on, and the entire time we were eating, we were arguing about whether or not curling qualified as a sport.
Fun fact: the guy who announced the curling for that Olympics in Vancouver, do you know how he got his job?
Now,
He was in the Albany area, and he was a weekend sports announcer. And I want to say an NBC affiliate, but it could have been like ABC. Whatever it was. Basically, the main sports guy was offered a job to do a local curling event, and he couldn't do it. So the weekend guy was like, I'll do it. I'm free. He didn't know anything about curling. He just studied it up. But then again, no one really knew what it was.
yeah.
He did a fairly decent job because he got like a call for New York City. And they're like, yeah, we're looking for someone who does curling. And they're like, yeah, we know this guy. He did a pretty good job. They called him up. He did the job for that in New York City. And then when the only guy who actually did actual curling announcing died, they needed someone for the Olympics. So,
Yeah.
so like my mom always says, job might sound dumb, but
If you're in the right place at the
Yeah.
right time.
so take what you can get.
Yeah.
So
All right, and the last thing, you're starting a baseball team. You can only choose one guy. Who do you take? Judge, Ohtani, Devers, Seager, or Severino to start your franchise?
can I take Corey's brother?
No.
Ron Seager.
Yeah, not Kyle Seager.
What's the list again?
Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Rafael Devers, Corey Seager, and Luis
I'm
Severino.
not sure who Devers is.
He's that 20-year-old third baseman for the Red Sox. The guy who hit the home run off of Chapman for his first home run.
I think you got to go with Judge.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like Severino, but a pitcher's not really going to be the face of your franchise too
Yeah.
often.
And the fact that you basically have your number 3 and number 4 hitter wrapped up
Yeah.
with Judge, plus a Gold Glove caliber
Yeah.
outfielder, in my opinion.
The only concerns I have, though, is that he is big, and as we've seen, a lot of big guys break down sometimes early.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say he might end up as like a David Ortiz and just DH for the rest of his life after maybe 6-7
But
years.
this isn't in 6-7 years. This is
but
right now.
you can still build a quality team.
Yeah, by the time you
around
worry about that, you've already fixed other holes by that
Yeah.
point, hopefully. Or you're the
So.
Tampa Bay Rays and you just suck.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all my questions for you. And we're done with questions, which means we're done with this video. So
Yes.
after this, we'll be back to being solo for a while.
Yes, we'll shower, change our clothes, obviously
Yeah.
separately.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. Amanda would have questions for me, and you'd have a girl asking questions about you, too.
Yeah, but we don't want the swim locker room.
No, it's
Which
locker
I still
room.
don't know about.
Yeah, it's locker room talk. Don't worry about it.
Trump's here? No.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.